Mohegan Sun Casino Resort in Connecticut. It's a fine facility that has seen many heavyweight hitters play to big crowds. Tonight, perhaps the most dominant performer in his field will show his stuff here at the Wolf Den. It's the Professional Arm Wrestling Conference World Arm Wrestling Championships, and an all-time superstar is primed for action. I'm Joe Tessitore alongside John Bergeson, and we're going to see a super heavyweight title handed out tonight. John Brzenk is lined up to capture it. He's the Muhammad Ali and Michael Jordan of this sport. Now, John, at some point, the superstar is going to pass the torch and ride off into the sunset, but it doesn't look like it's happening anytime soon.
You know, Joe, you're correct with that. This guy is genetically born to arm wrestle. He has got muscles in places that most people don't. And is he going anywhere soon? I don't think so. This guy right now doesn't even have anybody that's even close to him.
He is indeed Mr. Untouchable. John Brzenk, untouchable in this super heavyweight division. He was the winner of the real over-the-top tourney back in 1986. And watch the ease by which he advanced through the prelims today. Garrett Stepsis got a taste of Brzenk's brilliance.
You know, when you see the ease that John beats this guy, you got to understand this guy is a brute.
Among the other super heavies was Sean Freeman from Queens, New York. Sean was off to a good start against Eric Guevin. That's Sean with his back to us, Guevin with the goatee.
Ready, go!
You notice this match here, Eric slips and it's below 45 degrees. It's an automatic win for Sean.
Let's go back to Big John Brzenk, this time facing the former archer, Todd Hutchins. Could Todd find the bullseye on Brzenk?
Last year, John went down to the 198 pounds just to face Todd. They had a war, but it's not going to happen today.
Right there. Put that for me.
Hutchins was thought to be the toughest competition for Brzenk in this tournament. But as you can see here in the prelims,
Right there, gentlemen, do not move.
that hardly was the case. 42-year-old from Salt Lake City, Brzenk making quick work of his opponents. Back to a battle of the big men. Sean Freeman now facing Pete Milano.
Pete is a seasoned arm wrestler, and look for him to do well in this tournament today.
Ready, go!
Slip grip, so they would end up wrapping up the strap.
Putting him in the strap is going to give the stronger man the advantage.
Both you guys are bearing each other's knuckles. You want that? All right, guys. Both you guys bring your shoulders in.
Squaring up the shoulders, referee's command.
Do that again. You first, big man. Do it again. A little bit more. Come on, I got to have this rolled first. And
They're fighting for position here. It's so important on the start.
I need a little right here. Back here.
Who's the naturally stronger man here between Freeman and Milano?
You ready?
I'd have to give that to Milano. Now, Milano's a little outside here, and that hurt him.
Sean Freeman gets the win. So the native of Queens, New York, was feeling like a king early on. He had the win against Eric Guevin and then defeated Pete Milano. So we advance to an elimination match. Both one-loss competitors, Eric Guevin and Todd Hutchins, squaring off.
Today, Eric needed some luck in order to defeat Todd Hutchins.
And that's exactly what he received. It was an elbow foul that advanced Eric Guevin. Now, our final prelim of this super heavyweight division pitted Pete Milano against Eric Stepsis.
Boy, in this early on in the tournament, this is not where they wanted to be. They're both in a hook in the center of the table. Pete is going to have to get closer to his body.
A never-ending war.
This is unusual in arm wrestling to see a match go on this long.
John, what do you think the reason was they got into this position where it was going on this long?
Well, Pete Pete's arm is too far out, and this guy has got all the advantage. See how close he is to him? And, you know, just pure leverage.
But yet not enough advantage to earn the win.
You know, and it just goes to show the power that Pete has. This guy's in close, and he's got all the leverage against him.
Pete Milano, Eric Stepsis, both heavyweights were searching and trying to find a way to pull this off.
Boy, at this point, their arms had to have been burning. This is a grueling match, and the last thing they want to do at this point is have an elbow foul.
But that was exactly what would take place. So they would have to regrip and go again, but not before a little maintenance work, John.
Boy, you can see right there, their arms filled with blood. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to get some of that swelling out of their arms so they can feel their hands and compete at a top level.
So it was on the line again. Who could advance to the Final Four of the super heavyweights? Who could take a swing at big John Brzenk?
And as you can see there, Pete was not fooling around this time.
So Peter Milano advances over Stepsis, and it set up a Final Four that would look this way. Unblemished and hardly breaking a sweat was John Brzenk. The rest of the group battle-tested, especially Pete Milano after that grinding war. Coming up, it is the Final Four and the ultimate challenge, trying to unseat the king of the heavyweights.
Years ago, these guys invited me backstage. Best night of my life. Sure, these days I'm an actuary who drives an eco-friendly hybrid vehicle to Pilates class. But tonight, responsible Maureen is a rebel, diving into the molten lava ocean of rock and roll.
Non-stop nightlife, a 10,000-seat arena, and so much more. Mohegan Sun, a world at play.
Because handsaws aren't very handy, Black & Decker created the Handy Saw. With its cordless power and compact size, you can cut almost anything, anywhere, anytime. The Handy Saw from Black & Decker.
Y'all ladies feeling us?
I know what you're thinking. Probably still lives with his mother. But tonight, Jessica Sparsky is here to play. The budget analysis, pie chart, fax it to Cleveland, Jessica. She has stepped away from her desk until Monday, 9 a.m. So leave a message.
Non-stop nightlife, live entertainment, and so much more. Mohegan Sun, a world at play.
Saturday, nothing to complain about, unless you're working, in which case, we hope you're complaining. But cheer up, because it's only 2 days till Brian Urlacher faces Torrey Holt, as the Bears battle the Rams at 8:30.
The famed Tuscany Waterfall Bar at Mohegan Sun. Most of the time, it is the place to see and be seen. But tonight, that place at this grand resort is the Wolf Den. That's where the best arm wrestler in the world will be challenged by this man, Big Sean Freeman. Freeman will be taking on world champion John Brzenk. And Freeman's now experiencing what so many have said is the worst part of pulling against Brzenk, the anticipation of it. Here's how Freeman sees the task at hand.
Well, my next matchup right-handed is with John Brzenk, and he's the best in the world. I never arm wrestled with him before, but the chances of me winning against him may be slim, but I'm going to give it my all. I originally just told myself when I came here I wanted to place in the top 3, and I'm here now, so I feel like I accomplished a lot.
Yeah, I feel pretty confident that I'll be victorious today. I mean, I know the competition. I know all of the competition of the great arm wrestlers throughout the world. And, you know, Todd Hutchins maybe had a shot. I didn't know how strong he would be, but after my first prelim match, I think I'm going to be able to escape today without any flaws.
There really is no strategy. Just think of a move and try to initiate it. If you can pull it off, great. If you can't, next time.
It is not often you hear one pro athlete concede so much to another. But such is the case when you are talking very truthfully the way Freeman described this matchup with that man, John Brzenk. Brzenk won his first money tournament 24 years ago at age 18. His father was a pro arm wrestler, and he picked up all the technique and skill very early in life.
You know, one of John's attributes is he's got a big, strong hand, and you're going to see him try to wrap his hand around the back of Sean. Now, Sean probably outweighs John, could be by 100 pounds, I would think. But watch John's technique in this.
I find it so interesting just to see his technique in setting the grip because he's a very referee-friendly arm wrestler. No major issues here, John.
That's right. The referees like to set up John. He'll set up real easy.
Give me a little bit this way.
The consummate pro, the ultimate technician, and the best in the biz. John Brzenk, Sean Freeman ready for action.
This way, guys. Give me a little bit. Don't move. Ready, go!
Right there, Sean got off the mark first. John absorbed the entire hit for an easy win.
He caught and then he gave, and John Brzenk advances. And he's so casual about it.
Right here, watch this with John. Right there, Sean just hit him with everything he had. John stops him with that tremendous forearm that he has and just easily pulls him down.
John Brzenk advances. You know, it's funny. He reminds me of almost watching another superstar, LaDainian Tomlinson in the NFL. He scores touchdowns so easily and just hands the ball to the referee. Brzenk makes it look like he's there all day long.
Absolutely. He just one piece. It's like a big old chunk of steel, and he goes down to that pad.
Effortless, the key word in describing John Brzenk. And one loss, the tag now on Sean Freeman. He cannot afford another. As is the case with our next matchup of our Final Four. Eric Gwevin, we saw him earlier. He split a pair of matches in the prelims. He will be facing Pete Milano, double elimination. The next one with a loss is out. John, does that weigh heavily on their minds, the fact that they already have a loss?
You bet, Joe. They both have a loss, and at this point, one more loss, they are out of the tournament.
Eric Gwevin trying to focus in. For Pete Milano, he has to be feeling the pain of his earlier battles, but pain's the name of the game in this sport, and the ability to deal with that pain is a very, very important facet to your success.
Like, how big a role does it play?
It plays a huge role. Injuries, pain, daily, weekly. Some injuries put you out for a year, 2 years. Some guys have never come back from injuries.
How bad does the pain get, and what does it feel like? What kind of pain are we talking about?
Anything from a dull ache to a severe tingling pain to having to get surgery done on your arm and just surgery pain and just escalates from there.
How bad and excruciating can the pain be in arm wrestling?
Bad enough where you almost feel like you broke a bone, but you didn't. It can get very painful. On a scale from 1 to 10, it's about a 12.
Well, the pain has to be put aside for the moment because it is time to go at it again. Based on what you've seen today with these two, John Bergeson, who do you like here?
Well, I like Eric, and I'll tell you why. If Eric stays out of the hook with Pete, I think it's going to be an easy win for him. Eric has got a huge hand, and it gives him an advantage. Pete is good inside, and he's just strong as an ox. And if Eric stays out of that power, he'll win. Right there, right into the top roll for an easy win.
Let me ask you this, John. Did Pete Milano just have too much taken out of him from the previous matches, or was this a case of Eric just being the superior puller?
Well, I think there was a combination of two. I think Eric knew he didn't want to go inside with Pete, and I think Pete was pretty well beat up from those, grinders that he had.
Another look at Eric Gwevin's victory over Pete Milano, a win that now eliminates Big Pete Milano. So Eric Gwevin moves onward in this super heavyweight test, double elimination, but nobody has come even close to one time of slowing down John Brzenk. So the PAC World Championship super heavyweight bracket now looks like this. Brzenk unblemished. Gwevin and Freeman advance for another semifinal match. They both have a loss. there is the best in the biz. But can one of these two titans of the table find a way? You will find out when we return to Mohegan Sun.
Capital One Bowl Week, December 26th through January 1st on ESPN.
Years ago, these guys invited me backstage. Best night of my life. Sure, these days I'm an actuary who drives an eco-friendly hybrid vehicle to Pilates class. But tonight, responsible Maureen is a rebel, diving into the molten lava ocean of rock and roll.
Non-stop nightlife, a 10,000-seat arena, and so much more. Mohegan Sun, a world at play.
So, Peter, what's happening? Now, are you going to go ahead and have those TPS reports for us this afternoon?
No. In fact, look, I'm going to have to ask you to go ahead and just come back another time. I got a meeting with the Bobs in a couple of minutes.
Somewhere else you'd rather be?
Join over 7 million players in an online world of legendary adventure. World of Warcraft.
Try it for free at warcraft.com. Rated T for teen.
Yeah.
Because handsaws aren't very handy. Black & Decker created the Handy Saw. With its cordless power and compact size, you can cut almost anything, anywhere, anytime. The Handy Saw from Black & Decker.
All right, stay with me, Chad. Touchdown, Chad Johnson. And you go into one of these sizzling bacon action.
Are you serious? If I did that in public, I'd find myself.
It's true. The only time we think about electricity is when the power goes out. Then every minute seems like an eternity. Luckily, as a member of a Touchstone Energy cooperative, the people working on our behalf have the training, high-tech resources, and motivation to restore power as quickly and as safely as humanly possible. See what I mean? When it comes to electricity, you know you have an outstanding team working for you when you hardly notice them at all.
How do I do it all in one night? Easy. I use my computer to check my email and update my gift list with the latest news on who's been nice or naughty. I plan my route and check my progress wirelessly. It's a long trip, so I bring along my favorite tunes. And if I miss any TV shows, my computer records them so the missus and I can watch later.
The HP Pavilion DV6000T notebook with Intel Centrino Duo mobile technology is just $789.99. To order, call 1-800-525-MY-HP.
Uncasville, Connecticut, home to one of the world's plushest casino resorts. And on this day, the Mohegan Sun is home to the PAC World Arm Wrestling Championships and the semifinals of the super heavyweight division. It has been a solid road to this point for Eric Webben, but to advance to the next level, he has to avenge his earlier loss to Sean Freeman.
And what Eric's going to have to do here in order to get through Sean is last time he went right into Sean's power, right into a hook. You can see in the last match that Eric had, he top rolled the guy. He used his height advantage and his hand size and strength in order to defeat his opponent.
Eric Webben focusing in on the task at hand.
I can't tell you how important it's going to be for Eric not to feed into a hook with Sean. If he does, it's going to be trouble.
Sean Freeman has the confidence of knowing his first win of the day came against Webben. He also defeated Pete Milano, and he also has that physical presence. John Bergeson, these are two very, very big men, NFL offensive line-like big men, but you can't forget the fact that even with that size, they still have speed.
That's right, Joe. If you're wondering where the beef's at, it's right there. But also, these guys are as fast as they can be. And Eric has got to use his height and his hand in order to defeat Sean. Look for Eric to immediately go on top and try to get Sean's fingers in order to win.
Give me square shoulders.
You can see here they're both kind of testing each other's power, and Eric is set up to go on top.
Ready, go!
Refs looking at each other. Do we have a call? We do indeed.
Yeah.
early start on Sean Freeman.
I didn't see it. One elbow foul.
It appears that Sean's elbow came up. It was so fast. Look down under Sean's elbow. Yeah, it came up, definitely. Good call by Keith Michelle.
It's interesting to see the refs look at each other, and one of the referees actually said to the other, you know, I didn't see it, but you got to trust your partner's call, and thus the call goes against Sean Freeman. So now he's on the brink. He cannot afford another foul, John.
Sean is going to have to plant his elbow, or he's going to lose this match. These referees are going to look for this now. He's already elbow fouled once. And if Eric can take Sean's hit and cause him to elbow foul again, he'll win this match.
So as if the double elimination pressure isn't enough, now the potential double foul pressure exists for Sean Freeman.
Take your shoulder. Don't move. Don't move.
All right, now just straighten them out. Easy, easy. Wait for me. Wait for me. Go. Ready, go! Stop. That's an early start.
Are they calling another early start?
Okay. That's 2 fouls. No, that's foul and a warning.
Well, they got to take their sweet time to talk this over.
It looked to me like there was an elbow foul.
Okay, so that's 2 fouls. 2 fouls. Foul. That's a win.
That's it. That's it. You heard it. 2 fouls declared. What a strange way to advance to the finals, but Eric Gwevin will take it. Sean Freeman is out.
Okay, you can see right here, Eric is setting up. He's being very careful to plant his elbow. Sean is not. Right there, you can see that big hop from Sean. The referee catches it, and he's out. Right there. See that elbow hop?
So Sean Freeman walks off disappointed. Never even got into the match. 2 fouls and he's gone. Eric Gwevin will be going up against John Brzenk. He has taken the road less traveled. But they both have arrived to this, a spot Eric never thought he would be seeing. Brzenk, Gwevin in your super heavyweight finals.
I didn't expect to make it this far, I'll be honest with you. I just came to get rid of some frustration. My mother passed away from cancer last week, and I just had to get out, so. Yeah, if I make it through another one, I'll be happy.
The fans are toasting to the top. John Brzenk has gone over the top. Now he looks to sit on top when we return.
Y'all ladies feeling us?
I know what you're thinking. Probably still lives with his mother. But tonight, Jessica Sparsky is here to play. The budget analysis, pie chart, fax it to Cleveland, Jessica. She has stepped away from her desk until Monday, 9 a.m. So leave a message.
Non-stop nightlife, live entertainment, and so much more. Mohegan Sun, a world at play.
Think you can handle Chad Johnson one-on-one?
I don't think so.
Well, now you can bring Chad into your home with Fathead.
I'm a fathead? You calling me a fathead?
Like Chad, Fathead is big and bold with just a bit of attitude. Just peel and place in any home or office.
The PAC World Arm Wrestling's top prize at Mohegan Sun. John Brzenk is on course to claim it. He seems unbeatable. What kind of arm wrestler would it take to unseat Brzenk?
It's a lot of dedication. I mean, you're going to have to be dedicated. You're going to first have to be a young individual that is trained by somebody that knows the sport at an early age, have tons of potential and genetic ability, and then have been competing for the last 25 years.
Tell me how good John Brzenk is.
He's the best. He's my idol, always will be. I have others that aren't here tonight. I've always looked up to him. He's the best, by far.
What makes him so great? Every single aspect of his game, genetics, talent?
Form, everything. I mean, he's got the speed down. Endurance is just insane. When he goes against the guys over in Poland, these guys are big enough to move houses, and he'll send him home crying.
Mohegan Sun has hosted heavyweight world title fights throughout its recent glory days. Tonight, home to a different kind of heavyweight title. Brzenk versus Guevin for the PAC World Arm Wrestling top prize. Very interesting, John Bergeson, to hear Eric Guevin's take on John Brzenk. He respects him, but you don't want to respect your opponent too much when you're about to face him.
You know, Joe, I've had a chance to arm wrestle John Brzenk, and it's always an honor. But respecting him, it's almost impossible not to see what this guy can do, what he's been through. He goes all over the world defending his title.
Brzenk says that most guys prefer a specific technique, and Brzenk feels he has the ability to do everything, that he analyzes his opponents and attacks their weaknesses. With that in mind, John Bergeson, what is Eric Guevin's weakness that will be exploited?
Well, he's going to be lacking in horsepower. John is, I believe John will just take his hit and feel where Eric's going to go and just, capitalize on Eric's mistakes.
John Brzenk, so many titles, so many honors through the years. Now at 42 years old, trying to claim another world championship.
Don't move here. John, over right here. Ready, go!
Yeah, right there. John has just taken everything Eric's got, and he's holding him in a hook, and that's, to John's advantage.
And then he does that. He just makes that decision that he's going to win, and he does so.
Absolutely. There's no other person in the world that can do that.
John Brzenk, world champion yet again. Here's a look at it.
You're going to watch this. John, being the powerhouse that he is, he's going to take all of Eric's hit right there. He's going to look at it. When he decides he's going to pull Eric down, he will. And this is for the world championship.
John Brzenk detailed a 4-year stretch where he struggled with bad elbow tendonitis, but he says in the last year and a half, it is healed up. Boy, I don't know that he's ever looked stronger, John Bergeson.
He looks very strong, no question about it. And Eric is a big, strong individual. He just has his hands full here with John Brzenk. And, Joe, you can see that John is feeling Eric out. He's going to see which way he's going to go, and when the time is right, he's going to pull him down.
John Brzenk, who enjoys riding motorcycles in the summer, enjoys riding snowmobiles in the winter, and enjoys riding his opponents right out of the arena all year long. That's what he did to Eric Guevin. Let's take a look at the final standings for the PAC World Championships in the super heavyweight division. Guevin advanced past Freeman, but then suffered his second loss to the champ.
It's hard to compete against guys that you haven't pulled in a while because you don't really know where their strengths are. So now with Sean Freeman, I knew he was strong inside, so I tried to maintain the top roll, keep his hand flat, and just use my arm strength to the side to power him down. Eric Guevin, I know he's a real strong top roller. He likes to get, flex that forearm and hand and get the hand advantage. So I grabbed him a little bit lower on the wrist and turned it in arm to arm, and then it's my world. So he's in trouble when I'm able to do that.
It was pretty tough. It was something like I never expected. I think he took it easy on me today, but I know he did. I don't think he's got some severe power in that.
A learning experience for Guevin, another trophy for the trophy case of John Brzenk. Hope you enjoyed the World Championships here from Mohegan Sun. The proceeding has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For John Bergeson, I'm Joe Tessitore. Thanks for being with us. Today, it's the host site to numerous world champs who are looking for yet another crown. It's the Professional Arm Wrestling Conference World Arm Wrestling Championships. Hi, I'm Joe Tessitore alongside Mr. Arm Wrestling, John Bergeson. Tonight we're focusing in on the 177 to 198-pound division, and it's a wide-open Final Four. Good experienced group here, but it's hard not to key in on the much-anticipated matchup between two modern-day legends, as Chad Silvers will face off against Bill Sinks. They both come in undefeated, John. What should we be looking for?
I'll tell you, Chad Silvers, up until recently, has been catching. This guy just has not been off the mark. In other words, he sits there, deer in the headlight look. I was amazed to see his starts today. This guy was exploding. You match him up against Bill Sinks, who's just a powerhouse. This guy's got a hand and a grip on him like a vice grips. You're going to see some fireworks here tonight, I'll tell you that.
Those fireworks come fast and furious, but that explosive action, John, also has to stay within the rules.
That's correct, Joe. This is a double elimination tournament. 2 losses and you're out. At the start of the match, your shoulders must be square to the table. Your wrists must be square, not cocked.
And the action was heated right from the start on our path to the Final Four. The thick and powerful Chad Silvers strapped it on with Rob Vigent Jr.
Back here, Chad. Ready, go!
Right out of the gate, they're in a hook. And this plays to Chad Silvers. You can see now that they're battling for position in the center of the table. And Chad is starting to gain position here.
Chad had a good grip on that peg, then went to the fingertips, and now he's gaining leverage, John.
In order to get a win, you have to be touching the peg.
So he gets away with one there. Chad stays alive. The juvenile correction officer from South Carolina has long been one of the most likable pros out on the tour. This time, he would face Brian Johnson.
Right out of the gate, they went on top. They're battling for hand position. Chad's strength is really in a hook.
He's not underneath it. Hang on to that peg.
Brian Johnson would soon find himself on the losing end to the 13-time national titleist Chad Silver. We move on to Billy Sinks and Georgie Gelishvili. They would hook up. Georgie has a reputation as a pure power puller. He's on the right-hand side. Billy Sinks showed such determination. 42-year-old Vermonter. He needed that something extra, and he struggled to find it for a long time against Georgie. But then he would come up with one last good, solid pull.
Well, I got to tell you something. This is a battle. They're both straight up in the middle, and they're in a hook. This really plays into Bill Sinks because of the power that this guy brings to the table.
Good, hotly contested match, but instead of a win, an elbow violation was called, John.
Well, that's the last thing you want to get after a battle like that. Your arms are on fire. You do not want to do this again.
So after all that, they did indeed do it again. And this time, Sinks would sink Georgie.
Going to the strap with Bill plays to his favor because of just the brute strength this guy has.
Ready, go!
Bill Sinks prides himself on endurance, and it paid off there. After that brutal war with Georgie that ended in the elbow violation, he comes up big. Next up, a chance for Rob Vigent to prove his worth. The Connecticut native advanced in front of hometown friends and family. He was confidently outspoken after his first win. As for his next match, Brian Johnson didn't plan to make it so easy for Rob, but the Connecticut kid would find a way. He's never finished worse than second at the Nationals. Now he's hunting down a world title. Georgie would be back in the mix, this time in a near stalemate with Corey Fritz.
Ready, go!
As you can see, they were battling for hand position. The best thing he could have done was get his hand in front of his shoulder, and Corey probably would have pulled this one off.
Keeping in mind that Billy Sinks had previously defeated Georgie, this was critical in this double elimination tournament.
That's right, Joe. Just coming off that war with Bill Sinks. This is not going to play to his favor. The fact that the longer he arm wrestles right here, the harder it is for him to come back in his next match. At this point, you can see that it's going to make it very difficult for him.
Grip's gone. Loose grip to a grip gone.
Ready, go!
So they reset, and Georgie needed it.
They went right into a hook. You can see they're not on top anymore. And it obviously played in Georgie's favor.
Only 4 remained in the double elimination tournament. Chad Silvers, Bill Sinks, Georgie, and Connecticut's own Rob Vigent Jr. Lots of interest here at Mohegan Sun to see who is the top 198-pounder in the world. We will be back for the Final Four. Stay with us. It's a bronze to hand control.
Give a Garmin. Screen clear and wide, whole world inside. Garmin.com.
Mohegan Sun Resort Casino in Uncasville, Connecticut, showcasing their craps tables. And it should be a roll of the dice to try to figure out who will advance in our next match. Bill Sinks is a 42-year-old. Didn't get started in arm wrestling until he was 27 years old. But since then, he has really never looked back. He has competed at the upper pro level for 10 years. And he says the key for him is to gain hand control, John. Why is it that he's been able to maintain such an elite status?
You know, Bill just trains really hard. He wants it. This guy has got the physical attributes to